Okay. We have a match here. Feels bad. And it is going to be Etaphraven versus Wontu. At the bottom left, our yellow orc, Etaphraven, going for grunt build, so likely to see a blade master. And at the top right, our red night elf Wontu, going a normal night elf build with a demon hunter, so no keeper. I believe he's a big fan of the demon hunter into Pit Lord build, which is definitely powerful if given time. However, Orc can also put a lot of pressure on that build because the elf will have very little for catch. You know, there's no entangle. Usually they bypass dryads as well. So the orc has free mobility to do what they want and can pick stuff off. And that will be the orc's job this game. Let's see if he can do so. Assuming Wontu does indeed play that sort of lore strategy in Pit Lord second. We might see something else. Don't know. Little peon here being annoying like usual. And standard creeping so far. Orc player going to take out the first camp here. Shop kept back in his base. We do sometimes see it more aggressive around here. But opting for it to be more near his base means he will have to backtrack a little bit to it right now, but he ends up creeping another camp, I guess then fine. And this will allow both sides to get level 2. Demon Hunter definitely does take a lot of damage off of this and will have to drain the Moonwells. But he's getting the creeping done. And that is pretty worth. Etaphraven, oh my god, he has claws and slippers. He's installed the Orc DLC. Slippers and claws. What is this? This is Keeper DLC, bro. Why do you got Keeper DLC installed and not Demon Hunter? Oh, first mistake there. Gotta make sure you have the right DLC there. Can't be having that Keeper DLC when you're playing Demon Hunter. And Etaphraven looking to be aggressive here, but does not actually find a Wontu. Wontu is actually creeping a bit out of the way camp here. And with the gold mine creep, he would be level 3 now, but yeah. Now he's got the orc in his base. One wisp getting chased will go down, another wisp getting microed into the gold mine. Not sure if this will be spotted. We do have the Hunter's Hall, so it is likely to be lures, not wins, as expected. And Blademaster going in, making use of most of his mana already. Might be able to get one more wisp if he wants. But so far content on just scouting out what the elf is doing. And now the elf, looking to reach that level 3, has a pretty healthy count of archers, which will be huge in the mid game to help his Pit Lord creep. Etaphraven looking to steal a camp here. And this is a decent pickup. This will get him pretty close to level 3, I believe. And Wontu also getting level 3 here. Oh, actually just going for the item. I mean, not a bad call. But there is no push coming from Wontu, so... Honestly, if Wontu had pushed here with like Beastmaster or Naga on the burrows, it could have been a little bit scary for the Orc. But the Shadow Hunter is almost out. And he did keep his units fairly healthy. Wontu spotting that the creep was stolen here. Picks up a Boots of Speed as well, but they are on the Pit Lord for some reason. I think he wanted to buy it on the Demon and just mistake. Hasn't passed it over yet. And we do see Gauntlets pass now. So far, Boots being kept on the Pit Lord. I do think he wanted it on the Demon though. But, you know, we'll see if he transfers it over later. I think his goal was to probably try to get some mana burns off here. Run in with Boots of Speed and do so. And we actually see Serpent Wards picked up for the Orc. An interesting choice. Usually against Demon Hunter you see more Hex plus Heal Wave play. But Serpent Wards can of course still be strong in the right scenario. And if you can get enough of them planted. You do really want to reach level 2 Serpent Wards though before they actually kick in. And Wontu is content with this though. He's getting his creeping done, no harassment. This is where I think one of the big mistakes comes in for a lot of Orc players when Wontu plays this sort of style. You really don't want the Pit Lord to be just creeping freely. Like this army is not actually scary for an Orc. Because worst case scenario, even if you take a lot of damage, you can just run away, you know? The only thing Elf has right now is Boots to chase stuff down, but not even Boots plus, you know, not even Boots plus Entangle or anything, it's just Boots plus right click. No Orb of Venom yet either, so... I do think Orc generally should be putting pressure on this, but we'll see how it works out. Etaphraven has reached 3-2, has decent items for the Blade, mixing in Headhunters, and going for towers. Oh my god, he already has a Demolisher coming out and a Kodo. But this base is pretty fortified. It has a shop already, it has Ancient War up front. It has the 4th Moonwell, Bears on the way. But Wontu is a little low health and might actually lose the Pit Lord. Oh my, like 16 health or something. Pit Lord getting back to the base, rejuved up. Might see another rejuve come out. And Master Bear training already on the way. Orb of Venom picked up, Pit Lord hitting pretty hard. But only level 2 Pit Lord. Does need to use this Moonwell, might want a Moonstone as well. And Archer is getting caught out. Wontu a bit mispositioned here, not expecting Etaphraven to march in. Staffs out the Pit Lord. The bear does not have master form yet. Wontu is getting cut, and he uprooted the Ancient of Wonders, which results in his shop being dead already. Dryad falling instantly to a 159 crit. That is level 2 crit on the level 3 Blade Master, but the Kodo is super weak. Getting rid of that will be huge to deny the Kodo aura. And there's 2 bears now. Pit Lord looking to limit the Orc damage with the Howl and deal out the damage with that Orb of Venom. But there's not much healing left here for our Night Elf player. He does still have quite a few archers. However, with his shop being killed at the start of the fight, there's no heal potions. If Wontu could buy a heal potion for each of his heroes here, he could really just push in and kill all of this, but without it, oh, it's looking rough. And now with a Moonwell going down, he is going to be supply stuck with what he has. There is one more bear on the way, and there is no Dispel. So this bear will have a lot of value with double rejuvenation here. but needs to sit back and wait for the mana to pick up to get to bear form. And Etaphraven 0. 2 health! One more hit. Cleave! Hit something in fear and cleave! Aw, Heal Wave comes out. Oh, we got one more rejuvenation, but these are fortified and spiked barricades. Towers. Wontu finally gets his shop back up. Almost has a moonwall up as well, and might be able to add in 2 more bears here, and then after the bears come in, that will probably be his timing that he looks to hit. However, this is a lot of towers, and the Ancient of War is down, so there's no glaives to come out either. Could see even I don't even know. I mean, you just gotta wait for the bears and then hope that the bears are enough, but honestly, bears against Ensnare in tower range is just so bad. Wontu's doing what he can. He has reached level 4-3 on his heroes, Pit Lord cleaving hard, but the towers, they have so much range, they're in so much damage. Wontu trying to get his bear back from the Kodo, but look how much damage this DH is taking. The ensnares after ensnares. There is some rejuvenations available. Oh, Demon Hunter comes back in, gets killed, and Etaphraven will surely take the game at this point. Wontu still trying to fight though. He does still have his Pit Lord alive, and the shop is here, but one more bear getting taken out in adept form. And now with just 2 bears and a Pit Lord not having the Orb of Venom anymore, this is a very tough task to fight this off. Buys a potion, but there's just not much left. And Wontu calls the GG. Let's see if Wontu can be a little bit better prepared for it this time. I mean, he had everything he needed. He just wasn't set up properly. Ancient of Wonders dying right away. Units having to be like moved back while just taking a bunch of damage. Pit Lord had to be healed right at the start because he hadn't healed it already. Yeah, it looks to be more of the same from Wontu so far. And Etaphraven as well, going for the grunt build. Altar on the bottom though. Not sure if that will indicate he's going straight across or if he just happened to build it on the bottom side. Oftentimes you will see the altar pointed towards where they want to creep or go at the start. But I think he will still go up here. And Wontu going for Demon Hunter as expected. And Etaphraven as well going for the blade as expected. So I'm thinking it'll be more of the same. The big question is, how does Etaphraven change it up? Does he be more aggressive this time in the mid game or early game to try to limit the archer count, prevent creeping of the Pit Lord? Or does he go for another tower push? Does he play for expansion in his own towers and hit and run? And there's a lot of options. Honestly, hit and run's not bad. Demon Hunter and Pit Lord do not have tools like Entangle to catch out units. You can run against them pretty well. So a lot of options available for the Orc. But we'll see what he decides is best. And he is indeed going for the creep at the top. Wontu getting Ring of Protection. Honestly, I don't mind getting a ring as a Night Elf, but usually you prefer it to be like, you know, your second or your third item maybe.
A player's forces are under attack.
And just have that damage at the start in case you need to put damage on the enemy, as well as to speed up your creeping. And Circlet for the Blade Master. So, you know, it's standard. That's pretty good. Blade Masters love circlets. You see them head to the shop, buy those things left and right. They just love their circlets. This time, I mean, you just find it on the ground and take it. Why not?
A player's forces are under attack.
I mean, that little ogre didn't need it anyways, right? Gauntlets for the Demon Hunter, getting a bit extra tankiness. A few Moonwells already up. No real base block this time, but he could put War here and Wonders here if he wanted to. Although not necessary. He's actually going to creep finish this creep before the blade here. And he pops the Sentry Ward. And spots the blade. It's the mana burn. Maybe just realized that... Yeah, I think when he saw his Wisp getting hit by like the grunt, he knew the blade was somewhere else coming towards him. But it's just also not bad to have extra vision. Wontu healing up, popping a Hunter's Haul. And actually is going to move his Ancient War to be defensive, only making 4 archers this time. I think he had somewhere around 6 last time. So he is a bit more susceptible to a tower push, but he does have more gold to spend on higher tier stuff. Etaphraven does steal the item and gets a ring +4. Not very good, but still a big pickup to steal that, because now Wontu needs another creep for level 3. And to do that, he has to either steal something or creep a big orange. So that can be a little rough. He will take a bunch of damage trying to creep that. Tier 2 finishing for the Orc, and he's going to take his Tuskars now as well. See what big consumable he gets. And we do see the block off with the War and the Wonders.
A player's forces are under
Tier
attack.
2 just about finished. And Orc getting Scroll of the Beast, which honestly is not bad, because most of the time against these bear builds, you want to end the game before or at 50 food. So having a Scroll of the Beast is one of the ways to help end the game. Just give everything a big damage boost. I mean, why not? It seems pretty good, right? Obviously the other items also can be good. Heal Potion, Mana Potion for the Shadow Hunter. They can also be good. But Scroll of the Beast could be good as well. He does decide to sell it instead though. Which might be a fine choice, because it can of course be dispelled by a Wisp. However, usually you will at least get quite a bit of value out of it before the dispel. So I wouldn't have hated him keeping it too. Wontu going for the orange camp. Having to use his Demon Hunter as well though, as he does not actually have much damage here. His Ancient of War is playing defensive rather than walking over here to help creep. Is trying to split solo XP onto the Pit Lord here for that though, and does get level 2 Pit Lord already. And Etaphraven as well, split creeping with his Shadow Hunter, finding out he can't enter the base with the blade. Blade gonna look for the elf. Should know that the elf is most likely here, and might be able to steal this if he's quick enough. Not paying attention at that moment, but will put huge damage onto this Pit Lord. There is no staff, but there is no more Windwalks either. Wait, there is a staff. I'm completely blind. I totally did not see that. He did pick up the staff. That's what he was doing. Okay. Let's see if you dropped the item first. You really want to drop that parry up at least.
The town is under siege.
And Etaphraven out of mana on his blade. Did go for level 2 Windwalk this time rather than level 2 crit. So some difference here. And Shadow Hunter getting close to that level 3. But will need a little more than this. So might see him go for a middle camp next. Wontu also going to want a middle camp or a Scorpions. Scorpions would probably be the safe play. going for the middle is very risky, and you're likely to get creep decked. But he is going to go for the middle. Frost armor on the Warlord Troll, going to severely hinder his creeping speed here, but he will still go for it. Pops the roar to speed it up, and the Orc might spot this, but there is no Windwalk, and Wontu will be able to get the item. However, yeah, good call. TP's out right away. Stay in range, and well done. So it did not manage to get level 3, but did get a okay chunk of XP still, and picks up the Ankh. So his heroes are pretty safe. He has 3 bears, and Orc is going to have a tough time fighting against 3 bears, soon to be 4, and he can even fit in a 5th bear because of how light he went on archers and no dryads. Okay, he's actually picking up 1 dryad. Just wants to get something out right away, knowing the Orc is coming. And Shadowhunter never actually reached a level 3. Oh, that's actually a kind of a problem for the Orc. You really want that level 3. However, he didn't go Serpent Wars this time, so it's not like he needs it for that. And he can get level 3 early in the fight with a pick off on an archer, for instance. Demon Hunter dropping a little low, but has the heal potion and the Ankh. Plenty of mana on this bear. If he can back off and rejuve it, would be huge. Demon Hunter is still a bit low, but Pit Lord has reached 3. And this Pit Lord is just going to be crushing this army. He's so tanky. Look at the cleave hitting literally everything. The howl hitting literally everything. The Orc army is getting decimated. And this push, just a bit late, and also, oh my god, he's just leaving up the tower though. A bit late, and also the elf was fairly uncontested once again. Got pretty good levels, quite a few items, and was able to get there even more greedily this time with only making 4 archers rather than like 6. And Etaphraven having some trouble here. Tower trying to do what it can against those bears, but should eventually fall. Probably. Oh, Wontu's getting distracted by the tower. He loses a bear with a lot of mana in the Orc base, level 3 for the Shadow.
Forces are under attack.
And still having trouble getting rid of this 1 tower. Finally takes it out. Had to use like a rejuve. Took a ton of damage, but he finally got rid of it. And 1 more Moonwall coming up. Getting ready to potentially break in the future. Replacing the bear that he lost in the Orc base. Now, Orc heroes are decently strong, but I mean, just don't have much to fight the bears straight up at this point. Is he going to go for some Zeppelin plays? Just creep some more? Oh my god, what is ring +4, ring +4, ring +3, dude? Come on, dude. Talisman of Evasion? Oh my god. What is... I thought this dude had a sword, not a shield. What is this? So, Tank Master. Going tank build, I guess. Pit Lord also going tank build, I guess. So, I mean, who tanks better? I'm thinking it's the elf, as they have Orb of Venom as well. Tower's coming up. Etaphraven trying to expo, but not going to work. Was spotted pretty quickly by Wontu. And the hit and run has begun. I do think this is Etaphraven's way to play the match, is hit and run and try to tower up an expo. And he is going to get a tower up now. Peon was not killed. And Etaphraven just going to run out. There is only 1 Dryad. And at some point it can just be ensnared, and Blade can even try to focus it down real quick. We do see the ensnare come out. Now, will we see any Zeppelin plays or just going to run around? Shaman getting a little cut out. They are a bit slower than some of these other units, taking a lot of damage here from this Pit Lord. And the Orc army getting split off from the heroes, moving towards the Expo, I believe. No, he's taking him with him to the main. Maybe just wants to try to end it. But he does not have a TP, so if the Orc sneaks back around to the Elf main, could be trouble. Looks like he is going to go to the shop now, pick up another TP. And I assume he will check the Expo once again. But he's a bit short on gold, actually. Wontu, where's your gold? I got Staff of Telly. No TP. Oh. Etaphraven's finding time. There might be some losses of units here, but he's got towers up. He can get an Expo up eventually. The towers, however, will not protect the Expo with where they're at. I think generally you want the towers like here, and then the Expo here, so that they're protecting better. But oh, and Etaphraven might be able to get some pickoffs. Getting the Dryads is huge. If you get rid of the Dryads, the Elf does not actually have much catch at the moment, as there is no entangle. But only managing to get one of them and losing some units himself. Supply is actually kind of plummeted for Etaphraven. He lost most of his Shaman during this. And there's so many bears. And the bears have 2 damage upgrades. Oh my god. There's so many towers. There's even 2 towers in Etaphraven's main. Oh my god. Well, I mean, we'll see what happens. The towers are definitely annoying to deal with. He has spiked barricades. Does need to focus them on the Dryads though. But there is enough bears to take this out. However, there's no TP. Wontu will have to defend with just a solo hero. But Etaphraven sees there's too much, calls the GG. And Wontu evening up the score. Game 3. Wontu able to even up the score in that last game. Reached his bear timing pretty quick and also more greedily. He only made 4 archers and still got a bit of creeping done to get 2.7 or so on his Pit Lord. And just had a higher bear count because he had less archers. And Etaphraven's timing did not really hit fast enough. There was already like 4 bears, Orb of Venom. And they were, you know, they were already master bears. So, a bit tough to deal with for the Orc there. Needed that timing to be a bit sooner. Also, I'm a little surprised Etaphraven's going for the Shaman like he does. Because the Shaman are more for Keeper than Demon Hunter. I mean, personally, I think Shaman are still good regardless. They can be used in place of Raiders in a sense, because their Purge can buy you enough time to kill stuff. But also, they can be pretty good at getting rid of Rejuvenation and locking bears in place and so on. However, I'm not sure if they're the right call when he's doing this sort of tower push against someone who doesn't actually have summons or entangle. Maybe a different unit would be better, like more raiders, more headhunters, Kodos, I don't know. We'll see if he changes it up. But it does seem like both sides so far are going for the same build as the previous 2 games. Etaphraven should be creeping at least this camp first, because he wants to use his shop after. And Wontu once again going for the Demon Hunter. And gets a claws. Pretty big pickup there. And a claws for the Blade Master as well. I mean, all is balanced in the world, right? So, claws will allow them to speed up their creeping a bit, which can be huge sometimes to get these items before a creep jack can happen, for instance. Wontu probably a little afraid of a blade popping up here. However, Etaphraven is pretty far away still. Not sure if he spotted it with his wisp, but I don't believe he did. Either way, he did end up getting the creep in time. Level 2 now, Gauntlets of Strength. Tech underway for both players. Second burrow just now getting added for the orc. So he is going to be stuck on one grunt for a while. But getting the creeping done that he can. He has picked up Dust and Circlet. And now has a replenishment potion, which is honestly not terrible against the Demon Hunter. And with the Ensnare on the Archer, should be an easy pick off here. There is Dust as well. Immediately used. And one more Windwalk going to come out. Will get him to lose the rest of his mana from that burn. But draining the Moonwells a little bit, not the worst thing. And now just pops his replenishment potion. And Blade going to have one more Windwalk soon. Misses the Wisp though. Wontu does move it away. And so far, okay, he is adding a 4th archer. Technically a 5th one. It's the one archer dying. And I'm curious to see if he stops production after that or keeps producing more to be safe. Wand of Illusion. Etaphraven will be reaching tier 2 soon. I think that's the biggest question here. Wontu is for sure going to be playing pretty much the same as before. The big question is, does Etaphraven switch it up? Does he go for his own expo sooner with towers? Does he commit to hit and run right away with like double bestiary? Does he go walkers instead of shaman? Now, there's a lot of options for him here. He could even try to tower pretty quickly instead of waiting for, 40 something food. But he is trying to harass in the base. But, oh my, dropping the gauntlets right in front of the blade, but the blade was full on items. Archer's getting damaged quite a bit. Demon Hunter really needs to keep hitting here, as he is the main DPS and does have double claw. But oh, double crit on the DH. I mean, why not? Just crit, lol. Okay, DH does still have one more Moonwell to use, but this is significant damage. There's not much healing left here for the elf. You really need to focus that blade down and get him out of here, because you do not want this fight to be prolonged. Your archers are all dying. Your DH can't fight all these grunts straight up. Get rid of the blade. Okay, Naga has arrived. No Pit Lord. So a bit of a... Oh my god. And Etaphraven was not prepared for the Naga. A huge pickup by Wontu, going for the Naga rather than the Pit Lord this time. Ends up securing a level 2 blade kill with that cold arrow. No Windwalk was available. And now he'll be able to safely get up his production buildings. He's already on the way to tier 3. And while that looked scary, he held on and ended up getting the blade kill in the end with that Naga pickup. He won't have as huge of an endgame without the Pit Lord, but bears are already pretty strong in the endgame anyways. Missed his gauntlets, sadly, but maybe you'll notice it later. Shadowhunter looking to creep. And there is a difference from Raven as well. He is going the totem, going for walkers rather than shaman this time. And of course the difference from Wontu, going for Naga rather than Pit Lord this time. But it is still going to be bears. And I'm curious to see if Etaphraven goes for Expo and towers right away, committing to some sort of hit and run style, or if he decides to fight straight up still. Fighting straight up is going to be kind of hard after he lost his level 2 blade there. but there is still a chance. You can definitely pick off some of these elf units before bears really reinforce and make the army too strong. But we'll see what he decides to do. Wontu actually adding in multiple dryads this time though. Maybe a bit afraid, as well as just making up for his lack of archers. He only has like 2 archers here. But should be adding Master Bear form and bears soon, once he has the gold. Demon Hunter on the lookout. But this orc army getting close to being scary, and there is Hex. We can see significant damage on the DH here. We'll have to TP out eventually. And DH, oh my, look at this damage. Oh, he didn't TP. He went for the invuln. You're, oh my. You're gonna know, my. But now the Naga is caught. There's ensnare. Misses the surround though, but might be able to still get the surround. Does get the surround, and Naga going to go down. Wontu with a huge blunder. Oh, he brought in his army to try to protect the DH, but you know that DH just lost 500 health in the first hex, and should have just TP'd out immediately. Went for the invuln. Now he's down an invuln and a TP. Lost his level 2 Naga, and Etaphraven suddenly in control. And that's what Orc can do in the mid game when you have these sort of units against an elf that's teching bears. It's easy to catch stuff out at times. You do got to be a little careful if the elf does produce things like extra dryads or a ton of archers where they actually have enough damage to fight. But here, Etaphraven already knew the archer count was low from the previous battle, and dryads weren't even there in the fight because it was the demon hunter getting caught out alone. Now, this game is still very winnable, as the tier 3 tech of Orb of Venom and Master Bears can still overcome this orc army. However, with level 2 heal wave, one more use of Wand of Illusion, a heal scroll, greater healing, invuln, slippers, like these are a lot of really good items for our orc player, and these can carry the fight. And there's not actually much bears, as Wontu did make dryads and a berserker instead of straight into bears. There is 2 bears on the way. He does have master form, but he has to wait. And Etaphraven potentially looking to push in. No, he just wants to try to pick off what he can. He does have an expo coming up in the meantime. Spiked barricades already researched, and I do think this is a decent play as well. There was a possibility he could just commit into a fight. Like if he didn't go for this expo,
a player's forces are under attack.
Then he could have already been at like 60 food right now and pushing into the elf base. Is going to go for the expo instead. And Wontu still not too strong at the moment. Putting the Orb of Venom on the Naga for now. Oh my god, this Naga actually hits pretty hard. Fork Lightning coming out, only level 1 Fork Lightning though. Demon not going to be able to mana burn the Shadow at first. Might be able to get it now though. There is Book of the Dead still available, and only 1 disenchant on the walkers. DH kind of just running around for now. Some rejuves going off, and there's no more disenchant available. Spirit Link was used, and now rejuve getting full value here. Oh wait, he does have 1 disenchant. Where did that come from? How cheap is disenchant? What? Naga ends up getting caught out and surrounded, killed. I totally did not think that Walker had enough mana. Is disenchant cheaper than I thought? Oh, it's only 100? Didn't it used to be more? Or like was it reduced, or did it always cost 100? Damn. For some reason, I thought it was more because I thought it was one of the like, you know, the highest costing dispels. I mean, it like is one of the highest costing spells, right? But I thought it was even higher cost. Damn. Okay, so that walker just got enough mana. I think it was at like 98 when I checked. Just got enough mana, instantly used, dispelled, I think, the rejuve and the skeletons.